Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott MacKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, welcome to Industrial Talk, the #1 industrial-related podcast in the universe that celebrates industry professionals all around the world. You are bold, you are brave, you dare greatly, you innovate, you collaborate, you solve problems. You do it each and every day, and you just are making the world a better place. We just celebrate you. You are the heroes in this story and on this platform. We're broadcasting on site. PowerGen is the event, which is pretty cool. It is in Dallas, Texas, which is a traffic nightmare. But I digress. That was just something that's been rubbing me the wrong way. But PowerGen's fantastic, quite frankly. And you get to meet great people like Efrain. Hey, how you doing?
Man, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
This is such a treat.
Yeah. We were friends online first, which sounds sort of creepy.
Yeah, we met online.
Yeah, it's as creepy as it can get.
Yeah. It just slipped into the DMs, and now we're here.
Yeah.
So we met for the first time. We've been connected on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook.
We talked on the phone.
Talked on the phone dozens of times.
Yeah.
And in person yesterday, I'm like, hey, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I love the energy. You're part of the inspiration of where we're at now. Man, it's been great. I'm so happy to be here.
Have you liked the show?
It's been great. I'm traditionally an oil and gas guy.
Yeah.
Upstream, midstream, downstream.
Yeah.
And so seeing this emerging market of the energy that's going to be touching the data centers and the AI demand, it's ridiculous.
It's huge. It's huge.
And so I'm just happy to come here and learn and see this new market for us.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. I always advocate if you're looking for a profession, this is sort of to inspire the young people. If you're looking for a profession, my goodness, energy is where it's at, man. There's just so much going on. It changed. The conversations that I had last year are completely different than the conversations I'm having this year.
It's just I was talking to some folks. This is the next industrial revolution.
It is.
I was like, guys, if you guys aren't positioned for this, you're going to be very, very surprised in the next 6 months to a year. It's just, so we've been reporting. So we started a magazine, a digital magazine called Allstream Insiders, and all these news articles that are popping up in distribution, and our distribution outlet is power data centers, cloud computing, mega projects.
Yeah.
And now that I'm seeing these traditional oil and gas companies like the Chevrons just made an announcement for up to 4 gigawatts of power with this new joint venture with GE Vernova and Engine Number 1, I believe this is the name of the company. And I was like, I'm an oil and gas guy. I had to Google it. What does 4 gigawatts get you?
Yeah.
3 million homes.
Yeah.
Power.
It's huge.
It's massive.
You know what the biggest challenge is, or one of the biggest challenges within the power generation? The technology exists. That's great. It's good stuff, and it just constantly evolves, and it's a fantastic thing. It's the infrastructure. So if I'm slapping a massive generating asset, how do I get it to point B?
Right. It's the manufacturing is going to need to catch up.
Yeah.
The engineers are crossing over into new markets, which is great. It's a really, really exciting time.
It is. You need. See, we're just chirping without sort of leveling, making the.
It's like old friends.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Let's level set. Give us a little background on who you are.
So my name is Efrain Garcia. I'm the founder of Allstream Insiders, which is a digital magazine that really focuses on the positive side of the industry. And only the positive. We do not allow anything negative on our platform. It's
plenty of outlets that sort of chirp on that.
Yeah. We're not giving any ammunition to somebody that will protest us.
Yeah.
The origin story is COVID hit, second baby on the way.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, how do I stay relevant? How do I create something and feed my family?
Yeah.
And funny enough, I knew of you and I saw some of the podcasts, but the one that really resonated the most was it was like the title was like Post-Pandemic Success, How to Be Successful in Post-Pandemic Marketing Selling.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah.
And the two key takeaways was education while being entertained
Yeah.
and collaboration.
Yeah,
So
you can't do it. Yeah, you got to collaborate.
And I'm like, yes, we are stronger together. And when I worked at this engineering company, I created this platform where we were destroying scrap material and talking fracture mechanics and what happened, how it behaved. And so we started this educational, fun video series that ended up turning into a media production company. So now I own a videography. We'll go on site. I don't want to do the interviews. I love to enhance amplify the voice.
Yeah.
And then the second one, the collaboration, I was in charge of the midstream division of our company. And so I said, okay, collaboration. You know what? I'm going to be the guy. Everybody talked about a unified events calendar that nobody showed the initiative for. And I have an nerdy friend like, hey man, I need a website tomorrow morning. He goes, you're crazy. I was like, subscribe now, coming soon, something. I'm recording all night, and we're going to launch.
Yeah.
And this is the middle of COVID, and I was like, guys, who has the energy to keep track of all these different events?
Yeah.
You don't have to anymore, because midstreamcalendar.com will be that source for you. So fast forward, we just rolled 15,000 followers on LinkedIn yesterday on Midstream.
Good deal.
So it's been a blessing, just the early inspiration. Wow. Again, COVID did a lot to people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I got a family to feed. And how do I create a platform that's easy for everyone to use, that helps the industry communicate and get better, stronger together? And so again, I can't thank you enough for this was such a cool, like, don't get sappy. I'm a sensitive dude, just straight up. I am. But no, I got pointed north at the right time. We launched.
Well, great.
It's been great, man. It made so many friends from all over the country.
So tell us what's sort of in the works right now. You just mentioned it briefly. Tell us a little bit of what's going on.
So the calendars are the calendars, right? We wanted each market to have its own identity. You know, each of our children has its own personality, right? Yeah. And so we have dedicated feeds through each industry sector, up, mid, down, renewables. And then I thought that there was a gap that could be filled by creating an all-stream look-ahead, a dashboard of what's happening and what crosses over. So we created Allstream Insiders to be that platform. And so we bring the best of each stream of energy, and we put it on a dashboard of what's happening, what's emerging, where people can plan ahead, where people can cross into new markets, because a lot of times you want to, but you don't know which way to go. So we just want to create an open playing field for everybody to benefit themselves.
So what do you see emerging? If you've got that future view hat all the time, and you're trying to provide a relevant platform that allows me to be stronger, faster, smarter, and more insightful, and be able to plan a little bit. What do you see that's just really popping?
How do you say that? So I keep seeing there's data center demand for power demand.
Yeah.
And the quickest resource to get to that demand is natural gas.
Yep.
And so I noticed that there was an announcement of Meta's Shreveport data center. It was about $10 billion announcement for AI, and that's close to the Haynesville. So natural gas, dry gas, that's easy to access for their data center demand. So I see that there's a lot more collaboration. I'm seeing more of the traditional midstream companies making announcements that they're making. I just made one announcement yesterday, a couple days ago, for Energy Transfer. There's a San Marcos data center that they're going to be supplying long-term agreements of natural gas for that steady, consistent power. Because, with sometimes solar has the intermittency, is that a word?
Yeah. We all know what
So having that direct source that you can just turn on is going to be what I feel is going to be the fastest growing market, natural gas, PowerGen, to data centers, until the nuclear industry can catch up. And I think in the next 5-10 years, we'll start seeing some rapid adoption.
Innovative solutions.
Yeah, I joined a committee at another conference for the engineering and construction, and they started an emerging technology working group for trying to get people to speak there. And then another one is dedicated to SMRs. I think the small modular reactor industry is going to be also a fast-growing market.
See, again, I was here last year. See, the conversation has already changed dramatically to what it is today. Mm-hmm. It will be interesting to be able to, at one point in time, seeing those SMRs on the flat, just like, yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
What? You're doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right here. See? Kick the tires. See how it works? You know, it's happening right now. Let me ask you this. This is sort of an interesting challenge. We talk about the demand that the data centers are making. I mean, it's huge, and it's just going to continue to grow and evolve. And will the technology of these data centers get to a point where they're more efficient? Because the way it's going, I'm going to have a data center in my house eventually. It's just every piece of property, every land available is going to be a data center.
Yeah, it's
seems like it.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, the data center world. I still haven't been on one, but I'm reading it every day.
Yeah. We're going to be doing a show in Reston, Virginia. Okay. And if you've never been to Reston, Virginia, they're buildings, and they look like just regular office buildings. No, they're data centers. They're data centers, and they look like regular buildings. They're they're multi-floor data centers, and when you go in, it's just a handful of people.
I know it's limited to manage it.
Yeah.
And one unique thing through this whole journey, we recently made a partnership with an engineering group, bringing high value engineering to the U.S. to help with people's peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
One of the unique offerings that they did is, again, you have a data center that's this, right? I was a photographer, and when you zoom in your 200 millimeter zoom lens, it amplifies, right? So you have a little bit of camera shake. And so as these data centers, they scale up super large.
Yeah.
We were contracted to do computational fluid dynamics to make sure the HVAC system had proper cooling in all the different areas to make sure that they don't overheat. So having industry, oil and gas ability is actually crossing over into the data center world. That's pretty awesome. So we're positioning for that as well. As they're scaling up, there's going to have hotspots if you don't properly do the analysis of the flow.
Oh, right. You're absolutely right, because these centers are definitely heat sinks.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have a hotspot. You've got to properly, cool them down.
So this conference center, I was comfortable over there yesterday. As I walked to this side, I had to take my jacket off. The flow was very inconsistent on a very large building like this, right? So imagine that for really, really precise machinery.
Yeah.
And how that could...
See, I didn't know that. Yeah.
And the other thing I thought was very, very interesting about this whole data center uptick was, everybody was trying to... What do we call it? Everybody's trying to figure out how do we label it?
Yeah.
And then I saw a DOE announcement. They called it CET. DOE, CET, new department, critical and emerging technology.
No kidding.
Quantum computing.
Oh, yeah.
Data centers.
Yeah.
Semiconductors.
Yeah.
And AI.
Yeah.
So that's the department. And I said, you know what? I'm going to call it what they call it, CET. And so as we're trying to figure out this new market of what to call it, at some point we have to figure out. Can't chase it if you don't know what it's called.
Are you getting people chirping on? Oops, jeez, chirping on AI?
They are.
When we were, there was a number of conversations around that Industry 4.0, and we're going to be collecting data. We're going to be doing this and pulling it off this asset, and we're going to be able to sort of mine it and flip over some gold. It's sort of hasn't delivered as much. I think there's, this. I'm wondering if AI is going to be sort of going down the same route but
I think what's happening with, I'm also involved. So, a little bit about me. I'm passionate about the industry. Anything that helps power homes and make people's lives more comfortable and better, I'm all for it. Yeah. So I joined some boards in supply chain, engineering, pipeline, gas processing, and on the supply chain side, they had the topic about AI, but they were the ones doing the contracts.
Yeah.
And they're the risk folks. And they're wondering, like, wait, are these models getting trained on us? How is our data protected?
Yeah.
And so those are some of the conversations that are actually now happening, is like smart contracts and AI for contracts.
Yeah.
But they're actually going and digging deep. They're like, well, we need to make sure that whatever this machine learning is doing is actually protecting us and keeping it within our bubble from a cybersecurity and information.
So they're going to be talking about on-prem, and they're going to have that air gap, and they're going to say this is where it resides. It resides over here. There's a lot of talk and a lot of debate about whether on-prem is going to, but you got these data centers. It's the only thing that I can see that eventually everybody will be in the cloud in some way, shape, or form is the latency. So if I have the need to collect data at the edge, okay, I got it. It's speed. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, many of the calculations and the computing power will reside in the cloud. It's just, why not? You don't need it instantaneously. In previous life, I had a little bit of AI application to the industry. We manufactured hazardous area cameras, but they had AI chips in them. Yeah. And so when that opened up a new understanding of how things work. We were actually in this building last year for Global Security Exchange. Yeah. And the amount of technology we saw in movies that we were like, wow, this is crazy 15 years ago. It's here and it's now. You can go in the metadata. Minority Report.
Yes, absolutely. It's wild.
Yes, it is.
And they're like, creepy. Oh, yeah, this guy with a black hat and a pink shirt with a backpack on, we're going to go in the metadata. And they actually, in the data, they can go back and see the category. The machine learning is so advanced.
Oh yeah,
it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
And to where they're it's a wild world.
Yeah,
it's exciting. And this is just the beginning.
No, it is. I mean, we're still at just the tip of the iceberg in a sense. And again, I refer back to the fact that conversations that I've had. In fact, I was in Barcelona, and it was IoT Solutions World Congress, and back then they were. The conversations were completely different than they are today, and it's a recognition of the evolution, what's taking place in industry, and boy, I wish I was younger. I really do, because it's an exciting time, and just in the world of manufacturing, in the world of energy, it's massive.
Yeah, I'm excited, a little intimidated, but I try to read every day of what's happening. Yeah. The only way to keep up is to just educate, look at trends, look at market analysis, just what are people doing? And that's been, if you sleep on it for 3 months, you got to learn all over again.
Yeah, I always say, and you're right, it's always about education, collaboration, and innovation, and it's happening all the time. Those are the three legs to this stool that I definitely advocate for. All right, great conversation. How do people get involved with you?
Reach out on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn, Efrain Garcia, or visit us at allstreaminsiders.com. Take a peek inside the industry, from the industry, allstreaminsiders.com.
Very good. Hey, it's great. I'm so glad we were able to connect, man.
Likewise, man.
I love it. All right, we're going to have all the contact information for Efrain out there on Industrial Talk. Fear not. Get involved. It's about education, collaboration, and innovation. Make it happen. We are broadcasting PowerGen in Dallas, Texas. It's a great event. Put this on your calendar. All right, we're going to wrap it up on the other side. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
That was another great conversation. PowerGen was the event. As you can tell, you gotta connect with this. If industrial talk is all about that whole network and connecting and being able to connect with industry leaders, Efrain is definitely at the top. I'm at a stat card as I look to my side, my other terminal here, and he's quite busy. He's got a lot going on. He's somebody that you need to definitely network with. Yeah. Oh, good. There you go. Anyway, that was a great conference. If you're in the world of power, that's a must attend. If you want to try to get into a business or a market that's just growing like crazy, yeah, power. Yeah, it is. It's right there. All right. Hang out with him because you got to be bold, brave, and you dare greatly each and every day. Don't forget to hang out with Efrain. All right. We're going to have another great conversation shortly, so stay tuned.